Hello coders, I'm back with the part 2 of our Python series. As I stated earlier, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bombard you with lots of Python videos, short videos where you will learn various features of basics of Python. The part 1 was about how to install and set up your Python. This is part 2 where we are going to talk about what is Python in the world of coding. So let us start it. In this section, we will know the Python language in the programming world. We will take a look at what is Python, features of Python, and industry acceptance of Python, or we can say how the Python is used widely in the industry today. We will also understand how Python works internally. So now, without wasting a time, let us commence the course. I'm your trainer, or you can say instructor, Krunal Trivedi. What is Python, friends? First thing first, let us know our Python. Python was initially designed by Guido van Rossum in 1991 and developed by Python Software Foundation. It was mainly developed for emphasis on coding readability and syntax allows programmers to express concepts in fewer lines of code. The first version of Python was obviously Python 1, and the latest stable version while I'm writing this course is Python 3.12. Python 2.x and 3.x are the two most popular versions, and each appears to have a sizable and diverse following. Being a general purpose language, Python can be used for a wide variety of tasks. It is also known as scientist language or utilitarian language. Python is a programming language that can be read and written with relative ease. So if you compare Python with other programming languages like C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, you feel it's much more easier and concise to read and to write. It enables development of programming in much more user-friendly programming context. It has a higher level of abstraction from the computer and focus on the programming logic rather than the underlying hardware components such as memory addressing as well as register utilization. So we can say Python is a higher level programming language, unlike C Sharp and Java, which are lower level programming language. As we all know, being a programmer, that when you work with high level programming language, you have less control over internal components of the language. Lot of things would be taken care by the language internally. You have less things to control. So we can say at one end Python is bit slow in performance in comparison of C Sharp, Java, and other languages, because here language has a lot of things to control at runtime. But do not worry, this slowness we can easily overcome if we scale up our infrastructure. We can host our workloads on cloud, and again this slowness is technically unidentifiable by the human eye, because we cannot understand the difference between zero point zero 0.01 millisecond and zero point zero 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 0.0001 millisecond. But it's technically being a high level language. A language has a lot of things to be covered internally, and as a result we do not have much control over all aspects of the language. But I can say Python is Python provides you rapid application development. Your application will go to production very faster. Python is an interpreted language, which means unlike C, C++, Java, and C Sharp, it is not directly being executed by the processor. When compiled, languages like C, C++, Java, and C Sharp turn into assembly and run directly in the processor, the source code of Python program is converted to bytecode, and then it is executed by the Python virtual machine. So yes, we have Python virtual machine. So as we know, Python is a high-level language. Python is an interpreted language, and lastly, Python is a dynamically typed language. Here, the variables do not have data types. Yes, so in other languages, what you write string first name equal to Krunal, integer age equal to 10. But in Python's variables do not have data types. Values have data types which infer data types to the variable at runtime. At the runtime, the entire language stack would be available, and hence performance would be a bit slow because at runtime it's going to interpret the intention of your code, what you are trying to do here. Line by line, it will read your code. So Python is an interpreted, dynamically typed, high-level programming language that must be run in the given system using another program instead of its local processor. Again, I repeat, Python is an interpreted, dynamically typed, high-level programming language that must be run in the given system using another program instead of its own processor. Now it's time to look at Python features.